Chapter 15, Garibaldi and the Making of Italy by George Macaulay Trevelyan. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. The Return to Caprera. Semplici in Andi is simply Rolo. Ci della patria cavaliere si sensi. Not tuta alla patria in nulla vole. Parati. Rhapsody Garibaldino. Simply in act and word, his country's knight. He gives his country all and nothing takes. That part of the enemy's force, which had been in the neighborhood of the two national armies at the moment of their junction on October 26th, retired in the afternoon towards Gaeta and effaced themselves behind the line of Garibaldi. On the morning of the 27th, Victor Manuel rode from Tiano to Calvi in search of Garibaldi. Finding that he had returned to the south bank of the Volturno, the king pushed on alone with his staff in the same direction, crossed the rickety little bridge, and entered the Garibaldians' lines at San Angelo. The volunteers came swarming out to welcome the unexpected visitor, with cries of devotion and enthusiasm, which showed how far a very little attention from the world would have gone to win the hearts of the main body of Garibaldini. Unfortunately, this surprise visit was the last effort which His Majesty was permitted to make, by way of showing personal gratitude to the rank and file of the volunteers. Since Garibaldi was absent, not knowing of the king's visit, Medici did the honors of the occasion, helped by Nino Bixio's lieutenants. Bixio himself was in hospital at Naples, at the crossing of the Volturno 2 days before, whence he was to have accompanied the dictator to meet the king. Nino had headed a hue and cry after a priest suspected of acting as a spy, and riding furiously after the man to arrest him, had let his horse slip in a narrow lane and fractured his leg against the wall. He lay, however, quite happy in the hospital at Naples, for his wife came out from Genoa to nurse him, and since the volunteers' part in the fighting was over, he was able to turn his mind to the docile family affections which shared dominion in his heart with the rage for his country's service. Victor Manuel, after having fraternized with Medici's men, had ridden close up to the walls of Capua at the greatest risk of being cut off by the enemy's outposts, recrossed the Volturno and returned to Tiano. His army was there divided into two, one part going towards the line of the Garigiano and Gaeta, and the other under General Della Rocca coming south to besiege Capua. Della Rocca had to negotiate a delicate situation with Garibaldi. Although the Red Shirts were no longer to be allowed to take part in the serious operations of the campaign, yet on October 28th, their services were still required for yet a few days longer to help guard the lines for the Royal siege batteries. Garibaldi, fearing that his men might be annoyed at receiving orders from Della Rocca if they considered that a slight was being put upon themselves or their chief, not wholly placed in the whole of his army at the absolute disposal of the Piedmontese general, but was at pains to devise a plan whereby Della Rocca's orders were conveyed to the Red Shirts through Sidori, as though they still came from Garibaldi himself. He strictly enjoined his staff to prevent the men from knowing that the orders did not in reality emanate from him. Shaking his supplanter warmly by the hand, he wished him luck and rode off to Caserta. 2 days later, Della Rocca, who had been deeply touched by Garibaldi's generous conduct, hearing that he was ill at Caserta, went there to pay him a visit. He found him in a little room over the guardhouse of the palace, exactly above a large store of gunpowder. I begged him, like Della Rocca, to move immediately, and smiling he promised to do so. Propped up with clothes, he was wrapped in a military cloak, a little cap on his head, and a silk handkerchief knotted round his neck. As I entered, he held out his hand, and seemed quite touched when I told him I had only come to ask how he was. He was still more pleased when I told him how well I got on with the two generals, Cosenz and Sidori, notable personages and most excellent men, and how I regretted the enforced absence of Bixio. Mine were no idle compliments. I meant what I said, and I saw that Garibaldi was pleased that I appreciated his friends. Meanwhile, Della Rocca's batteries were being scientifically erected by the engineers of the regular army in front of the Garibaldian lines. On November 1st at 4 in the afternoon, all was ready. and a red flag run up on the summit of Monte Tifata gave the signal for the bomb.